And now, a message from Todd Glass.
What are you doing? Is this?
I wrote a song.
You wrote a song for who?
Andy Frasco.
You wrote a song for Andy?
Yeah.
Are you serious? Let me hear it.
I can't wait for Andy Frasco to play the Todd Glass bar.
No, that's fucking horrible. No, stop playing. That's like a fucking... just because you can strum the goddamn guitar and go...
Sure, I mean, I don't know what I'm really doing.
I don't know what I'm doing. Well, I got fucking Andy Frasco coming here. You better fucking start figuring out what you're doing and learn to sing good, learn to play the guitar good.
I'm trying my best. It's all I can.
If Andy Frasco comes in here and you make me look like an asshole because your music abilities are not up to his band, the U.N.'s, I swear to fucking God, I'll take a knife and scratch your fucking dumb
I
face.
think you would appreciate that. I'm just trying my best.
Oh, Woody! You think that's how he just got a record deal by putting up with mediocrity bullshit fucking people with their shit lyrics?
No, I think you got it.
You're an
because
embarrassment.
He's a good person.
What?
I think you got it because he's a good person.
Yeah, you know nothing about this business, John.
Wow, and we're live.
Barely alive.
Andy Frasco's World Same Podcast. I'm Andy Frasco. How's our heads? How's our minds? How's my sweet boy Nicholas Gerlach?
I feel like I'm more of a man now after last night.
I am too. The podcast was great. Shout out to everyone.
Can you hear me on this? I don't really know this mic. I don't know.
Yeah, it sound great. We got new mics.
I don't have headphones.
Shout out to Electro Voice
Hell
for
yeah.
getting us microphones.
I met the guy at Red Rocks.
He was there?
He was really
Is he
cool.
from Denver or what?
No,
Oh, because of Corey Wong?
yeah, they're a Minneapolis company, I think.
Oh.
Or they have an office there or something. I think it might be it's
What a week to be in Denver. Rolling Stones are in town. Widespread's in town. Panic. Widespread panic. And the World Same Podcast live. We fucking did it, boys.
we did it. Pretty much sold out
Pretty much sold out.
for a Wednesday.
Y'all crushed it. We almost sold out.
Pretty good for a
Pretty
podcast.
good. I had a blast.
I had a good time, I think.
I was getting laughs.
Yeah, that was good. It was good. All the guests were killing.
Yeah.
Even the Magic Beans were good.
I called you out for
That's
doing
good.
drugs with me at
Who?
Trivia. I hope McLean and them don't get pissed.
What'd you say?
I'm like,
Oh, no, they won't care. Just a moment in time. You know what
just
I
a
mean?
moment in time.
Speaking of Yacht Club, did you see what they got nominated for top 4 cocktail bars in America by Forbes?
Let's fucking go.
McLean
Yacht Club.
and McLean himself, top 4 bartender in the country. Deservedly so.
Denver is taking over.
I feel very proud to do my trivia night at that club.
Yeah,
It's such a esteemed place.
I agree. I'm very proud to be a patron.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool to be like, I work at a cool club that's like respected.
I like that Yacht Club is my cheers.
It is kind of, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's Cervantes then? It's too big to be a Cheers. It's not that kind of vibe, you know?
My dark hole.
Yeah, exactly. It's a vortex of sin.
Yeah, but it's all good.
Marty's
we have
here.
Marty here. Marty's in town.
Marty's awake, I think.
Marty's awake. We've been hitting him pretty hard lately. I've just been
Welcome to Denver, bitch.
Welcome to Denver, Marty. We hired another producer from New York.
He's very smart.
I'm just gonna say we stole him from Barstool Sports.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, the overlap isn't really there, but yeah, we'll see.
But we're having a good time. Podcast is great. Carl Denson sucking nitrous on stage.
I guess you can't really gain weight doing that. So like he'll do that drug. As long as it's not like unhealthy calorie wise, he'll do it maybe.
He's like, no vegetable oil, but I will rip some
But
nitrous.
he's got a point. I mean, dentists give you nitrous.
What? Hold on. So what's the deal he was saying about vegetable oil is not good for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a pretty well known fact. It's all the stuff they dunk KFC in and stuff.
Really?
I think so. I don't know. Look at me. Like I give a shit. I'm not exactly a nutritionist.
I
don't
do
know if you
love
have
French fries though.
Yeah, everybody loves French fries. That's why
But you
they're-
can't eat them.
You can.
Vegetable oil.
Oh, you can.
Well, you
Or you're not supposed to. Trust me, you can eat French fries.
kind of like drugs.
You can definitely eat drugs too.
Someone said to
Did you
me
eat any
last
drugs
night,
last night?
I did a little bit of drugs.
Yeah, you didn't eat them.
I didn't eat them.
They ate you.
They ate me.
I heard you guys were up late partying.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. We were at
I know what happened.
Herbs.
All your dirtbag friends came back to your house after the bar like they always do.
Yeah, it's like cockroaches.
All the dudes.
They all walk over from Don's and come find a dark corner to lay their eggs.
Just picturing Cooney laying an egg.
Cooney always helps me clean up. He's the best.
He's a good boy.
Cooney is a good boy.
He's a good little boy.
Yeah. Does your girlfriend piss at you for?
No, but it was just funny. Like the vibe.
She's just exhausted.
She had just worked a 15-hour day at like the football stadium, setting up green rooms for the guy that I just got to jam sacks with. And I come home, I probably made more money than. No, I'm just kidding. But I come home and she's just like, ugh, and I'm like a little juiced up, if you know what I mean, from the show.
Yeah.
We're just in very different places emotionally in that.
Was
moment.
that a cool moment for you to play with Denson?
Yeah, it was cool. I feel like I hung in there with him pretty good.
Dude, I was re-listening to it. That sounded awesome.
He's a man, huh?
You guys have very similar style playing.
Yeah, I'm very black.
Yeah, you are very black. I wanted to wish Josh Blue happy Juneteenth.
Oh my gosh! Did you hear when I said you got to hand it to him? Nobody noticed that joke. I thought that was a good joke.
I thought that was a funny.
He laughed about it later.
Yeah.
If he laughs, you can say it.
Yeah, he has Bell's palsy. I thought all the comedians crashed.
No, cerebral palsy. Bell's palsy when just like part of your face.
Like Jesus has that.
And that goes away. Jesus has it?
Jesus from Lettuce has
I thought you meant the Bible one.
Yeah.
The one from the good part of the Bible.
Yeah, all the Catholics don't
the true part.
Yeah.
I looked right in Marty's eyes when they said that. No, but yeah, Carl's like one of my favorite sax players ever. And he was a nice guy. Once we played together and hung out, he was a little nicer.
And he like really loved the show. Everyone really loved the show last night.
Yeah, I think everybody had a good time. It was long. It was a long podcast show.
2 hours and 15 minutes.
I was pretty wiped afterwards, like mentally.
I was too. And I was like, we always stress, like, do we have enough material?
We had too much material. We had to cut stuff.
Yeah, I know.
That's good though.
Yeah.
It's different than my music shows. I'm usually scrambling for the last 15 minutes.
Yeah, you're like, fuck, we got to extend this fucking verse again.
It's a lot easier to fill time when you're playing songs though.
Yeah.
Especially on a horn. Like,
we're just getting more comfortable live talking like how we talk here.
Yeah, and I think that it was funny when we asked Carl if we could have tickets, and he's like, "No."
Yeah,
they're like $800 tickets, I think.
Yeah, we're like, "Hey, Carl, can we?" I'm like,
yes, I didn't really want to do all that.
Yeah, trivia. You're like, I'm like, you're missing a question.
Yeah. Well, I didn't want to. It was funnier that you set it up rather than me just asking.
He's like, nope, you're not getting tickets.
I was like, hey, I respect that actually.
Yeah, I kind of respect.
I really don't want to go down there in 95-degree weather and
I'd love
John
to see
Elway
the Stones.
pictures.
I'd love to see the Stones.
Oh yeah, Julie
Panic, but I don't think I have it in me today.
Julie just sent me a picture of their like video wall. It's insane. It looks like Odessa or something.
Really?
You wouldn't know they're 80-year-old men.
Oh, word.
Yeah, they're 80. Mick Jagger just turned 80.
And you keep forgetting that Carl Denson's 68 years old.
He looks 48 or something.
God. I asked him, because his kids still live with him, like, do they watch him have sex? Do they hear him have sex? Yeah. And then she's like, no, when they're in there, I just make it louder. I'm like, Carl.
I bet he's a very athletic, vigorous lover.
Oh, dude, he probably licks puss for like 30 minutes.
I don't know about that. I don't not know about it though either. I'm just saying.
You don't think so?
I just think he could do whatever he wants for a long time.
I think he's fellation for a long time.
Probably.
He did?
He definitely does.
Oh, he's licking pussy, dude.
Yeah. If we joke about it, it's like how you're deep down, you're gay.
Yeah, that was really funny.
Beau tried to kiss me on stage and I denied him.
I know, that was really good.
I like that. I like being the one guy that doesn't kiss. It's a good bit. Someone's got to be a fucking normal guy around here. Plus, you guys are gross.
Well, now everyone thinks I'm gay.
It's all right.
That's fine.
Kind of are a little bit.
I think I am kind of.
Feet, though.
The feet, yeah.
No gay man.
These aren't gay feet.
No gay man would ever have their feet look like that. It's terrible.
They are kind of gross feet.
Kinda?
I mean,
they look like they're from a different like time period. You're in the very beginning of anatomy books. 200
BC.
Yeah. You're like in the third page of a human anatomy course. Your feet are
like Neanderthal.
Yes, exactly.
Like Pro Magnums, or what are they called?
That sounds like a condom brand.
Yeah. Oh,
Cro-Magnon.
Cro-Magnums?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know that much about feet.
Yeah.
Not really my thing. I did use it as a source in trivia last week, though.
Really? We're live at the Volume Studio.
We are live at the Volume Studio.
They all
Great segue, Andy.
My brain's not working today, dude. I need to just like
Sleep.
disappear.
Well, at least you're going on the road in 2 days.
Yeah, and
Just
I
one
sleep better on the road. I
Makes
can't
sense.
sleep. I'm like waking up at like 8 a.m., 9 a.m., even when
Yeah.
I'm going to bed at 5. I need a new bed.
Maybe.
I can't sleep when it's really
I don't
light.
know if it's the bed.
Oh, you think it's the cocaine?
Yeah,
just
I don't know if
keeping
that's
me
what's keeping you up. The comfortable giant king bed with all the pillows
up?
in the dim room, in the very dark room.
It's not dark. I can't sleep when it's light.
Have you ever heard of like shutting blinds and like turning off the light?
My house is very open. It's
You
bright.
do have a bright house. It's really like I like a dark cave.
I need a cave, dude. That's why I love the bus, because you just shut your little cubby and it's pitch black. And I'm
Yeah.
in bed. I'm
And
sleeping.
the hum of the engine.
The hum of the engine. I'm sleeping to 1 p.m.
No one
Like,
can hear you jerking off in there.
yeah, I think they heard me once. It wasn't. Yeah, I think
Were
they
you
were
groaning
laughing.
like a woman?
No, but I sometimes, if I'm like kind of really fucked up, I'll like stretch my feet and my toes out, and I was like hitting the wall with my feet.
In rhythm though.
I like a baby. I was just like beating off like this.
You can jerk off with people that close to you.
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing it for 15 years.
You say it like you're a utility infielder for the Braves. Yeah, I can get in there and pinch hit in the ninth inning.
I mean, yeah, I got to be real quiet. You know, I've been living with 3 people in a hotel for 15 years. You just fucking
Yeah, I guess I just always waited a couple days.
unclog it.
You're not going to have any seed left in your 50s. It's going to be gone.
No, I mean, right now I feel like it's like every time I do it, it's like a smoke machine.
Yeah.
Just it just
Like a Model
evaporates.
T.
Like, yeah,
Trying to start a Model T.
like a
that's just sitting
steam.
in it. Yeah.
It's just steam.
It's steampunk. Like I said,
Steampunk
your
dick.
genitals are steampunk genitals.
Nick thinks I have a steampunk dick.
You know
Like
what
it's just
steampunk is? It's like an old style of like, I don't know, like Wild Wild West. Like, you know, it's like futuristic, but also old and dying.
oh god.
It's like the tank in Wild Wild West, the spider tank at the end. That's pretty steampunk.
I need to go away for a couple days.
Where are you going? Idaho?
Yeah, Stanley, Idaho.
That's where all the cool, like, people that hate the government go.
Yeah.
You can
And
start
like-
a cold
and
up
like-
there.
Yeah, but it's so cliche to start a cold in Idaho because everyone has a cold.
True. It's like very passe at this
Yeah,
point.
we should do it. I mean, this is the move. Denver's our cult.
It's a good place to start a religion, Idaho, or just get into like your own little religion, though.
Yeah.
People are down as long as it's not the government.
Really?
And Napoleon Dynamite's from there too.
Uh,
Did you know that?
no.
That's where that movie's based.
Scotty Zwang was being nice to me.
Yeah, why wouldn't he be?
Remember when he called me out during COVID?
Oh, I think COVID. Everybody's regretting everything they said during COVID.
You think so?
It seems like it.
I feel
On
like-
both sides. I mean, just
Yeah.
everybody freaked out.
Everyone freaked out.
I think anything you said in the first year of COVID,
yeah.
it's washed.
Remember when Jay Lane wanted to fight me?
No, because I didn't really know you then. Remember, I kind of met
Oh,
you
yeah.
like a little. I met you after that, and I was like, hell yeah,
The
everybody
Dead
hates
and
this guy.
Co.
I want to work for him.
Yeah, the Dead and Co. Yeah, I was getting hated on.
I was like, yeah, this guy rules.
I was
He's
talking
a
shit.
maverick.
He's a maverick. I was telling Jay Lane that he's a bitch.
Is he a bitch?
I
mean, he's a good drummer. That doesn't mean he's not a bitch.
He's
though.
buff, dude. I didn't.
Oh, he's
I
not.
was like, he was like calling me out for not wearing a mask during my COVID dance party.
During your shutdown thing where everybody was tested.
Yeah, we were tested and shit and having parties in my house.
He's just jealous.
He was just a jealous hoe. But
Except
then
for he's in Dead and Co. and he's like banking.
I did
don't think
talk-
he's that jealous.
I did have like a 4 a.m. like kind of like, who the fuck do you think you are?
DM or public?
DM.
Ooh.
But after I sent it, I looked up his pictures and he was so buff and like strong. I deleted it.
He is from San Francisco though.
Yeah. He's kind of buff though.
But so is OJ Simpson.
I mean, he's 100%
So maybe he is
not guilty.
So maybe he is dangerous. You know what I mean? That robber. OJ.
That reminds me. OJ is still dead.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
Another great segue from Andy Frasco.
We have Kyle Tuttle on the show tonight.
Yeah, I don't. Who's he again? What band is
He's in Molly Tuttle's band, but they're not related.
But they're not related.
Yep, great banjo player.
Interesting.
It was a great conversation. He's a punk rocker. What's the deal with all these metalheads and punk rockers loving bluegrass?
They're all getting into bluegrass now because I think it's outlaw music, I think, or something.
Well, it's kind of the same thing, you know. It's like it's fast music.
It's actually pretty much the same chord progressions.
Really?
Yeah, it's just 1-4-5. Bring it on home with the fucking dominant chord at the end. You know what I'm saying? Most music is that, though. To be fair,
true.
Just America.
Did you give Carl Denson your record? You put it in his back pocket?
No, I didn't actually.
You're like, listen to this, Carl.
I don't think he would have listened to it if I did. So
he would.
Yeah, he's a cool dude. Actually,
he's really fucking cool.
He's so ripped.
It's amazing how hot he
could
is.
Throw me.
He could.
Yeah.
And he's like a little. He's like 5'6".
Yeah. Really? Were you taller than him?
I think I was taller.
You were taller than him? How tall are you?
5'7".
5'7".
Yeah.
He's a tall 5'7", though. Marty.
Yeah. Marty's a tall 5'7". We should get Marty on here. Come here, Marty. Get over.
Get on my mic.
Our new podcast producer, Marty. Just getting the ends. He's getting the ropes.
From Louisiana, but he doesn't have an accent.
I definitely look like ass right now. Sorry, guys.
Well, you know, I saw you last night staring at a wall at 6 a.m. So
It happens. It happens.
How you feeling about working with this group? How was the show last night? How was everything? You
Show last night went awesome. I mean, what's so cool about you guys' shit is that how into it the crowd is. Like, that's not something I'm used to working with. Like, I did a gay podcast at Barstool and like the OnlyFans podcast at Barstool. Like, we never had like crowds really.
Yeah.
Like, so like, that's just the shit. Like, it's awesome.
Yeah. It's like I think we're really building a strong following for the pod itself.
Yeah. It's just we stand up like for certain people that are just like looking for like-minded folks, and like I'm just into it.
So what's your plan? How are we going to get this? How are we going to blow up this podcast?
You're going to see a lot more of it on your phones. That's like the number. That's the number one plan. You're about to see this on TikTok.
You're going to hear a lot of my dumb takes, and Nick telling me how much of a fucking idiot I am.
Well, that's the world we live in now. People want to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're going to go back to New York. You're going to tell everyone.
Yeah.
We're going to get this thing popping. Then you're going to come back to Denver. Are you having fun out here? Do you like this
I love
city?
it here. I want to keep coming back. Like, that's a big part of like.
Oh yeah, you're coming back.
Yeah.
We'll fly. I mean,
so easy.
Your fiance is out of town. You just fly back.
If I come back next week, she'd be so mad.
We need him at the computer working.
Yeah,
because
I'll be.
we haven't really been working. We have been partying, but we did play NBA 2K.
Yeah, we did do that. Oh, you ended up winning that.
Yeah, you beat me in MLB The Show.
Yeah,
we went to the Rockies game. I flipped off a kid.
7-run 9th inning.
Can't believe I flipped off a kid. I was just being. I
hate that I missed it. I wish I had like.
He was egging me on.
I was right next to you and I like didn't see it
because the Rockies were fucking. They're whooping our ass, and then he was just egging me on.
We had the most annoying chick of all time right behind us.
Dude,
oh
at
yeah.
First I was like, oh cool. She's like,
no, that girl sucked.
I remember like
yeah, she sucked.
She talked. I was like, oh, she's like actually knows baseball. And then, and then later I was like, I'm gonna murder.
She was like yelling like every pitch.
Yeah. Come on, up.
Yeah, she did that a lot.
Come on, up.
Yeah, blue.
Then I had the kid. I mean, got to give it to Colorado for still rooting for the Rockets for how hot dumpster trash they are.
They're what, like 20 and 50 or something? Yeah.
But yeah, I saw that kid. I'll tell the podcast people who weren't at the live show. I saw this kid, and he was just like just being a dick. And then he'd go and be a kiss ass to his parents. And then we hit a grand slam in the 9th, and then we hit another 3. And I just fucking gave this little kid the fucking bird, dude. I'm like, fuck you. And I'm like, oh shit, he's like 8 years old.
Hey, sports, that's how it works. That's how it works. You got to learn.
Boston. I mean, when I was in Philadelphia too, the kids out there who love their fan bases are so into it. I mean, they're flipping everyone off. Like, what the fuck?
Well, they grew up with Twitter, so like that's how they think like everyone like talks about sports.
Yeah,
it's just very combative.
Yeah,
so like I think that's may play a role in that.
Well, fuck. Yeah. Well, hope we don't kill Marty before tomorrow. We'll go see Eric Andre. We'll go get some nice dinner. I'm going on a date.
You're going on a date tonight?
Yeah. You're third wheel on the date.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right, sweet. Fuck yeah.
Nick won't do it, but Marty, thanks for being on the show. Welcome home, baby. Welcome home.
I'm a great third wheel.
We stole a bar stool guy.
Yeah.
No, we kind of just got had him.
Stop calling him a barstool guy. He's his own man.
I know.
Way more Marty.
Are you sad that you're not working for Barstool anymore? No, you were when you first happened. I saw your eyes. You were pretty sad.
It sucked at the time, but like,
well, getting laid off anywhere is not. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true. All right, guys. Wow,
It was
what a
part of
day.
it wasn't personal. They laid off a lot of people that day.
Shout out to volume.com. Head to volume.com. Subscribe to our podcast. Subscribe.
Watch the live
$5
one.
a month.
The live one will be on soon, right?
Yeah, it's already up there.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because it's just
Yeah, watch the live one. It was actually really entertaining.
Yeah, it's long.
It's 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Is the stand-up guy at the beginning on it?
I think so.
He was great.
He was.
He saved our ass.
He saved our ass. Sam Talent couldn't make it. He got
Did
a
he come
flat
hang?
tire. Yeah, he hung out. We went to the bar and
He
then
didn't
went.
come back here though.
No. I asked him if he wanted to take some mushrooms and hang out with a bunch of dudes from Denver. He's like, I'm good.
I'm from here. I've done that.
I do that every day, actually.
Yeah. I could just go to work and do that.
Shout out to volume.com. Head to volume.com. All the greatest live streams are at volume.com. If you're a content creator, might as well sign up for volume.com. I was talking to him, Nugs is cool, but volume is cooler.
Ooh.
I said it.
I'm not actually black. That was a joke earlier.
I know.
Yeah, I'm white.
Yeah.
Okay.
Me too. Yeah, happy Juneteenth. Happy Juneteenth.
That was yesterday.
Nick.
That was yesterday.
I didn't want to bring up Juneteenth to Carl. It's like, what am I going to say? I'm like, oh,
Congratulate. I don't know.
it's like, what do you say?
What do you say?
What do you say for Juneteenth?
Yeah.
But all right, guys,
Seems
enjoy
corny.
Kyle Tuttle. Yeah, it's
It seemed
corny.
like corny if you're like a little try hard to do it on the mic.
Yeah, like try hard. Like I
Yeah.
got a black guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I'm not gonna. That's so fucking.
No, that's not why he was there.
Obnoxious.
He was there because he's the man.
Yeah, he's there because he's the goat.
Yeah.
Man, I want to go see Rolling Stones tonight. I don't want to be a groupie and text him one more time.
90
I texted him this morning to see if one more lob ball.
You did?
Yeah.
Desperate loser.
I mean, Mick Jagger's about to die, probably.
No, he's gonna live another 20 years, I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got the vibes.
Okay. Well, I'll try next year.
I doubt they ever come back here. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, they're done. They're done with Denver after this.
I can't believe they perform at altitude.
Yeah, me either. I want to see his little fucking
Chicken walk.
little
he does?
chicken walk, a little skeleton
walk or whatever?
Yeah,
What's it called? He does like the rooster
does like-
thing. No, he does like a rooster thing,
Yeah.
doesn't he?
yeah,
Sometimes it's like a
Yeah.
strut.
yeah. All right,
He made
guys.
that cool. That's how cool.
Kyle
the
Tuttle
Stones-
from Molly Tuttle's band is on the interview. You're gonna love it. Volume.com. We love you. Everyone who showed up to the podcast, we love you. All the musicians who gave us love about this show, we love you. The fans, we love you. A lot of women at this show.
Very good demographic.
It was a ton of women.
A ton? Are you calling them fat?
Shut the fuck. I can't even argue with you right now. I'm so tired.
Marty looks so tired right now.
Dude, we are all
He
zombies.
looks so
dude.
zoned out. What were
Yeah.
you looking at?
He's like, did I make the right decision? I'm going from one of the biggest broadcasting companies to a jam band podcast.
The best jam band podcast.
We are. All right, guys, enjoy Kyle Tuttle, and we'll catch you next week.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm home now, so
I like
you'll
these new
see
mics.
Nick. I like these. I sound like it's like a radio voice, like, and we're live.
Yeah, these are good.
All right, bye.
Kyle motherfucking Tuttle, baby.
Andy Frasco, what do you say, my man?
How's it going, dude?
Oh, it's going, man. It's going. Just thawing out down here in Tennessee finally, and
Yeah.
Loving life,
I was there
you know?
last weekend. It was fucking cold, dude.
yeah, no kidding, dude.
And the ice.
kidding.
Like, when has Tennessee ever been like that where it's just that bad?
It happens like every 5 years or 6 years, and I guess it's like just far enough apart for them to never be like, oh, we'll get a salt truck or something, you know?
Yeah. It felt like they have like maybe 2 plows in the whole fucking city.
if that, you know, and then it's over, and everyone's like, oh, that's never gonna fucking happen again. So
Yeah.
there's no reason for us to worry about it.
Yeah. Well, let's get to the nitty gritty. I want to know, tell me about your life earlier in Georgia. What was that all about?
Man, well, I as a young boy in growing up in North Georgia, there I was like a punk rock kid. I was like a punk rock and metal guitar player, you know.
Yeah.
and
Punk
that
rock
was
and metal.
and- yeah, I was
Like-
like shred. I was like electric guitar, like shred guy.
What?
That was
Who are
like
your
my
bands?
that was like my shit. Well, I mean, I loved like Crass and the Subhumans and Operation Ivy and
Sick.
you know Rancid and Anti-Schism and all kinds of fun Bad Religion and stuff like that. You know.
Did you have a mohawk?
But I was also like real into Ozzy
Oh, sick.
and you know, the old Metallica. I loved Randy Rhoads as a guitar player. Ozzy's first guitar player, Randy Rhoads, was like my favorite. Is still like my favorite. You know, shredding guitar player.
What do you like about his playing that made you fall in love with playing?
What about it?
Yeah, what'd you love about his tone, his feel? Like, what'd you like about it?
It's just like real aggressive and real busy, you know. And his like when he would play rhythm, it wasn't like a guitar chord. It was like he would like chunk on one low note and then like play a riff. You know, his riff would be like, and that's like him playing rhythm behind Ozzy singing. It's like not even his solo and shit. You know,
sick.
And that was like really appealing to me. Also, he just looked cool as hell, man. He was like a tiny, skinny dude with like real big long hair, and he played a flying V, wore like spandex bodysuits and shit. And I was like 15 years old. I was like, I would just want to be this guy, you know.
It's you know, a lot of metalheads become bluegrass lovers. What's the parallel there?
Man, you know what I think it is that type of aggressive on top of the beat rhythm. You know, it's like, it's not like, you know, for the music dorks out there, it's not like, it's not rushing, but it's just playing on the front end of the beat. You know, hip hop and a lot of rock and roll sits on the back end of the beat. Bluegrass and the metal stuff sits way up front, you know, and it's I think bluegrass and metal and punk rock share that.
Oh yeah.
That thing. And I think that's what turns and you know, I mean, I don't know. Bluegrass is a fringe music in a way.
Yeah.
Not quite as fringe as punk rock, but there's something similar there. You know?
Yeah, I hear it. So you're living in Georgia. You start falling in love with metal. Start falling in love with just heavy ass guitar. How old were you?
Yeah. Like, well, I started playing. I actually started playing the guitar when I was 5 years old, but I wasn't really like the metalhead kid until I was probably like, you know, when you start to the adolescent time, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Wow.
You know.
So what was going on? So before you went to Berkeley, you said 23 years old?
Yeah.
So what was going on between 19 and 23?
Man, I graduated high school in 2004, like I said, and then I bounced around. I lived in Athens, Georgia for a little while, off and on. You know, there's a killer music scene happening around there. So I was having a good time there, just playing in dive bar rock bands and stuff like that with the banjo. I got a banjo when I was 17, also from my grandparents, and I just started playing, you know, sort of figuring it out, teaching myself and stuff. And I then joined this little band called Here's to the Long Haul, and we spent some time on the road. We were basically like a activist string band, you know, real involved with the anti-mountaintop removal scene that's going on. There's a lot of mountaintop removal mines, you know, coal mining in through the Virginias and West Virginia and southeastern Kentucky and stuff like that. So I was traveling up and down the road and playing mostly old time music at rallies and protests and stuff like that, and some dive bars too, you know. And then when I was about 23, I figured I was trying to elevate what I was doing musically, you know. And that it appeared to me, with what was going on in the scene at that time, that Boston was like the coolest place to be, you know. And it was super. There was a very cool thing happening around 2008, 9, 10, 11 in Boston. So I went to Berkeley, and I was 23, so I was like a little older than all the other kids, you know.
What was that like?
kind of cool because I could buy beer for him, you know.
Yeah, you're like,
So
okay.
I definitely made friends because I could buy beer.
Yeah. They're like, yo, Kyle's got the hookup with some natty lights.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to go jam with him because he can buy the booze.
What made you decide to go back to school? Did you feel like your playing was plateauing, or you just want to learn more? Like, what was going on in your head?
Yeah, I wanted to learn more. You know, I had been when I was a shred guitar player kid, I was into music theory. I had also gotten real into music theory, so I understood a pretty good bit of, you know, chord structure and scale structure and how that shit all relates to each other and how you use those tools to make music. But I wanted to know more. I wanted to know as much as I could know about that.
Right.
Just in the hopes that it would make me as good as I could be at music.
Right.
You know. And jazz, you know, I wouldn't say that jazz is like my first love or anything like that, but if you look at the typical American songbook, and jazz and how it evolved into bebop and stuff, you know, those players are kind of the ones with the most control of their instrument and the most understanding and the able to sort of do the most shit with their tools. So I went after, and Berkeley is like one of the most well-known places where you can study that kind of music. So I went to Berkeley with the banjo to try and learn as much as I could possibly learn about music, you know.
Right.
And there was 5 banjo principals at the time. There's only 5 banjo playing kids in the school,
Oh my
you know.
God. That's fucking crazy, dude.
Which is crazy. And it also means that it's like if you can sort of get more attention that way. It's like, dude, there's 1,500 guitar players and there's 5 of us, you know? And I was at that point 4 years older than the other 4 of them.
Wow.
You know, so I was a little more, I wasn't a better banjo player than them, but I was just more prepared to be in school and a little more driven to get something out of it because I'd had 4 or 5 years in the real world.
Yeah. People like, I mean, I feel like I think that's a smart idea, is like go to music school later in your life when you actually experience being in a van and fucking playing for fucking nobody and eating and sleeping at, you know, in parking lots and stuff to see if you really fucking want it, you know?
To see exactly, and I did. I mean, I did, and I still do. I still want all that terrible shit that you just said.
Oh yeah. I mean, I live for
We
that
both
shit.
do.
I mean,
I know, we
that's
both
like
do.
3/4 why I was a musician. Is so I love traveling. I love adventure. We're like the last pirates.
Oh yeah. Oh, totally, man.
Yeah.
And it's the kind of, you know, for me in that same vein, it's like when I was a kid and just sort of like, you know, because if you'd have asked me, when you ask children, what do you want to be? Like they want to be a cop or a fireman or an astronaut or something. I want to be a rock star. I mean, that's like from the very first. I've never said, you know, I've never said a word other than rock star when you asked me what I wanted to be. Even when I was 5 years old, I don't even know how I knew that. I just knew it. But then, like you said, once I was like 10 or 15 and start realize like, oh, this is like what it looks like to go on tour and musicians can do this. It was like, dude, sign me up.
Oh,
there is nothing else that I'm going to do. It's like, if I can do that, I've never thought for 2 seconds about doing anything else.
I can drink for free and maybe get laid every now and then. Let's fucking go. You know,
let's go.
Was Chris Pandolfi in your class, or was he older?
No, I was there just a couple years after Chris was there.
Yeah, because did you graduate?
No.
Yeah, it's expensive, right?
Hell yeah,
dude!
It's
I
way
can't
too
believe
expensive.
it, dude. Like that's the one thing too I don't understand about like we already don't make enough money as it is, but then you go to Berkeley and you're like right before you even start the dream, you're $150,000 in debt.
Yeah, it's that's fucked up, man. That whole thing, you know, and it's like they're bringing you in there and like they're telling you,
it's like,
oh, we'll set you up and you'll be able to go do this. It's like, not with this crippling debt, I won't be able to go do this.
Yeah, it's like, what are you actually gonna do? You're gonna pay for it, you know? It's like, and they don't really give scholarships, do they?
I had a little one. They do give some. I got like $4,000 a year from them, you know, and tuition was like fuck, what was it? I think it was like 11,000 a semester or something. You know,
so you're paying
it's
you're still paying 18,000 a year.
still paying a lot of money, you know.
Not including like living in fucking Boston ain't cheap.
No, and that's not included in that cost, you know. You know, and my parents were able to help me out a little bit with it. I got a little bit of scholarship money from the school through like auditioning for it, you know.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it I took out, you know, when I graduated, I had I think just shy of $20,000 in debt, which is like pretty damn low.
Yeah.
And the only reason, I said graduated when I quit.
Yeah.
There's no way I could have graduated with that low a debt. When I quit and left with only that debt. See, I did some smart shit, man, because I was 23 when I went to the thing.
Yeah.
I treated it like a tech school. I never planned on graduating. I didn't take anything that I didn't want to take.
Yeah.
So, you know, they'll be like, oh, it's still music school, but they're like, you know, you got to take this, you got to take that or whatever. I signed up for I tested out of everything that I could when I showed up. So I started in the highest level classes I could. I took only shit that I wanted to and worked as hard as I could, audited classes that I wasn't even paying for, just sit in the back. You know, you can't ask questions, but you can learn. And then after, you know, I forget how they work it, but there's something you can do that allows you to add extra credits to your semester and take more classes than you're supposed to. And I did that. And then after 3 years, after 4 semesters, I left, but I knew so many of the teachers so well that for one more year, I just like hung around school, you know, and like whenever banjo instructors would come and do some type of class or workshop or whatever, like I was there just like I was a student.
Yeah.
But I wasn't actually a student.
Let's go. I like that hustle. Let's go. That's my guy.
Yeah, and I mean that's what I'm saying because I was 23, I was older. I was older and a little more driven than some of those other kids. And instructors like that. Instructors in anything like that, man. When someone can tell that you want to, you're not just there because your parents sent you some money and they say you have to go to college. Like you're there because you want to be there and you want to learn.
Right.
People are responsive to that, you know. So I got.
What was the best advice that you got from Berkeley that you still remember?
Damn, that's a hard one, man. What's the best advice that I got from school? I mean, I took a class on how to do taxes as a musician. That's actually probably the best advice that I got out of the whole thing, you know, is literally just a class that explains to you what Schedule C is and how your expenses relate to what you're going to inevitably have to pay to the government after you get stuff. You know, I mean, that was that might be the most lasting, important shit that I got out of it. I don't know, man. I mean, I worked hard on the music stuff, you know, and tried to play a lot of stuff that wasn't bluegrass, obviously.
Yeah.
And I didn't really didn't really sound good doing it, but I learned a lot.
Yeah.
You know?
What are you good with like saving money? Or are you bad with that?
I'm pretty good with it, man.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm cheap. I'm a cheap. I mean, when I was in that band, Here's to the Long Haul, you know, I mean, I learned how to be on the road, sleeping on the floor. We were dumpster divers. It was full on.
Yeah.
You know, so I've always been a thrifty dude anyway.
Yeah.
So
who taught you that?
My mom.
Yeah. What's your relationship like with your mom? It's
good. It's good now. You know, we butted heads a lot when I was a kid, especially when I was a teenager, you know,
about what?
Just about me not wanting to follow the rules of being a punk and doing what I want. And I wasn't doing anything crazy, you know. I mean, I just wanted to run around with my friends and skateboard and you know, ride in cars and leave the county and go to parties and shit like that, you know, and go to basement shows with a bunch of other punk rock bands and with my buddies. And you know, parents just worry, you know. It wasn't she just worried, and I can't blame her.
Were they religious?
I hated it.
Yeah.
No, not very religious.
Yeah.
Not like my grandparents were.
It's so weird how if one If your parents get religious, then the loins aren't religious, and vice versa. It's like a kind of like a every other generation. It kind of skips the religion, you know?
Yeah. No, totally.
It's fucking wild. So
It does.
you got out of Boston. You hung around there for another year, or how long did you stay in Boston after Berkeley?
Yeah, almost one more full year.
Yeah.
You know, just hanging out. I was washing dishes in a restaurant. I was living out in Jamaica Plain. I was washing dishes at a little cafe to pay the bills and teaching banjo lessons too. But
Yeah.
I probably made more money washing dishes than I did doing anything else.
Especially in like the Northeast, like Boston, you know, it's like you come out there. Yeah, I'm a Southern boy. We got some banjo. Anybody want to rock the banjo? You know, it's fucking amazing.
Yeah, and they're like, "All right, boy, hop in the dish pit. We'll pay you."
You're all tatted up. You're loving bluegrass and fucking old traditional songs. What year was that? What was what was the year that after Berkeley? 2000 what 14?
12.
12.
Yeah, I moved to Nashville in the fall of 2012.
And what was that like? Give me first year. What was it like?
It was like, you know, man, you probably wouldn't even have recognized me. You know, I mean, I had some tats back then, but I was still pretty clean cut. I was like trying to, when I moved to Nashville, you know, I didn't really know what I was trying to do. And I figured like, I mean, I knew I was trying to play music, but I didn't know how I was going to get to what I was trying to do.
Uh-huh.
And, so in Nashville, a big part of the game is just being a sideman, you know, being a guy that can play when someone's doing a show and they need a banjo, you want to be the guy that says that people recommend, oh, call that guy. He'll do a good job, you know? So I spent the good first couple of years in Nashville, just like networking and trying to meet everybody I could meet and trying to climb the ladder, trying to climb other people's ladders, I guess, or something, man. I don't even know really.
Yeah.
When I look back at it now, it's like, well, why didn't I just start doing my own thing a little sooner? But it just didn't seem, the time wasn't right or something. I wasn't ready.
When did you meet Jenny?
Probably around let's see,
Jenny Lynn Gardner, for people who don't know.
20 Boston, somewhere in Boston.
Yeah.
You know, so
And you were playing duo gigs
10?
with her? Like what? What was that?
10,
when
11,
did you guys start like
2000.
really doing it?
Well, yeah, we had a little band that would play every Thursday night, actually, at this place called the Burren in Davis Square, I think, or something. I can't remember what square, up in Cambridge, Massachusetts. So we had a little house band. It was like an Irish pub, you know, but they had a bluegrass band every Thursday night. So we had a band up there for about a year that played almost every week, you know, pickup type gigs and stuff.
And then you married her, or what was,
I did.
for how long was that for?
We were only married for about a year and a half, I guess.
Oh, but
we
you're
were together. We were together for a long time. Dated for a long time. Married in probably 2017, and we're split in 2019. So
2019. So you married her. Didn't you was it 16 or 7? I can't remember. You won the national, or you were in the national banjo championship?
yeah, 17, also 17.
17. Yeah. Wow, what a year. Got married.
Yes, hell of a year for me. It's 2017.
So you're with her all through Nashville. Did she move with you to Nashville?
We actually weren't together in Boston, but we were just friends. I met her up there. We had that gig. We had the whole thing, and then I moved to Nashville. She had previously lived in Nashville before moving to Boston. She moved to Boston to join that band Delamay, and was up there for a couple of years, and then she moved to Nashville also about a year after I did, or something like that, maybe.
So
and around then is really actually when we got together.
Why didn't it pan out?
I just wasn't meant to be, I reckon, man. It's not there was a lot of good there for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, the music thing. She's a Southerner. She's from South Carolina. Her family was steeped in bluegrass. Her dad's a banjo player. Hell, she's named after a fiddle tune.
Yeah.
So that's very, very Southern. But she's all her. But we just weren't ended up not being on the same page, and there was a lot of my life was also really difficult at that time for other reasons, and I don't think that they caused me to get divorced, but I also don't think that it helped.
What was going on in your
If
life?
that makes any sense. Well, I was playing in the Jeff Austin band, and that was, you know, Jeff was a lot, man. He was a hell of a guy. He was larger than life, but working for him, I should say, was very difficult. And there was a handful of stresses that there's a handful of things that put me in positions where I was a stressed out person. I guess.
Yeah.
That might be a way to put it, you know?
Yeah, man. It's like, you know, cause you didn't really partake in any of the extracurriculars, like, you know, and he's probably going through a lot with everything going on. And, you know, how do you approach that to someone who's hired you, you know?
Well, it's not, and it's not, I mean, man, as far as the extracurriculars go, you know, I mean, I've been up and down and had my times, and there's plenty of time. I mean, especially in that, it's probably during that time of my life, I wouldn't have been saying no to much of anything, you know?
Oh, word. So you were kind of partying during that.
Yeah, for sure.
Coke and shit or what? What were you doing?
Yeah, you know, and I just, a lot of, you know, I've always liked LSD. In my older age, it doesn't sit quite the same with me as it used to, you know, but I used to like to go to space, man. It didn't bother me one bit, you know.
We're just getting older, dude.
I know.
I got too much shit to do. I can't be having an existential crisis for 11 hours, you know?
Yeah. And for some reason, I feel like I'm slightly more prone to the existential crisis than I used to be if I get a head full of LSD, you know, or mushrooms. But you know, it was tough, man, because when you see, you know, I've speaking to the addiction thing, you know, like you said before, I mean, I've been close enough. A couple of really close people in my life have struggled with alcohol addiction in a debilitating way, in a life altering and life threatening way. So, you know, fortunately it hasn't happened to me with that substance yet, or any substance really, I guess, exactly. But I've been really close to it, and I've seen it a lot. And you know, with alcohol, man, like I drink beer. I fucking love to drink beer. Right. I think my blood like is Pabst Blue Ribbon, probably at least half of it, you know? And so it's tough when you got people very close to you that like, if I go drink a beer with him, it's gonna throw off his life for the next 2 months, and he's gonna end up in rehab. You know, those type of situations. Right. So, you know, there was a little bit of that, you know, in working with Jeff. It's like watching someone just struggle with substances and realistically, I was probably self-medicating too. I was self-medicating to deal with all of that, to deal with another person that might be self-medicating, you know. Right. I mean, what a fucked up dark little circle is that. So you know, and that's imagine that stress, and imagine the kinds of stresses that can now put on your marriage, you know. Oh my God. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it was all a whole mixing pot of fucking madness, and then it starts affecting your personal life, and then and like I said, I don't think that if I hadn't have been in that band, I would still be married today to Jenny Lynn. I don't believe that, but you know, maybe it would have ended differently or something. Hell, it probably wouldn't have. These things don't. They're independent of each other, but they're all tied in. You know.
Were you afraid to talk to him?
No, not really, man. And it wasn't for a long. I didn't realize for a long time, sort of what was going on, you know. Right. And then, or just I didn't. Maybe I never completely understood what was going on. I shouldn't say it like I know everything, but maybe I didn't. I mean, I definitely didn't just realize how dark things were. But then once I came to that realization, Jeff was still around for several more months, and I still was on the road with him, and then it got a lot easier because, like I said, I've been close to this a bunch of times, man. So it was kind of like with a lot of different people at different phases in my life, people, like I said, very close to me have all of a sudden I've realized they're having these major struggles with alcohol, and it makes you wonder, because you're like, well, do you start looking at all the similarities? And it's like, well, one of the things that's similar in all these situations is me.
Yeah.
And drinking, around with these people. So it makes you wonder, sort of like, well, fuck, am I fucked up, or am I helping to hurt my friends in some weird way that I don't understand, So it makes makes you think of all that too, but like I said, once I, closer to the end, once I started realizing that Jeff was in some trouble, it was easy to talk about because I've been around it and I've seen it before, right. and I've seen some successes and I've seen some failures, unfortunately, so once that discussion was on the table for me, it was not hard,
right? And even taking the microscope further away, this life we live, only 1% really fucking understand what we fucking go through on a daily goddamn basis. So we drink to suppress, because you can't really tell, Joe Maloney in accounting what's going on the road without them kind of judging you,
Totally. Or just not having any perspective to even understand it. You know what I mean? Because
right.
some of the things that you would explain about things that you go through on the road and things you deal with might sound, to anyone that doesn't live that life, would just sound so radical and unusual and possibly terrible,
Right.
Right. So yeah, and this, the same, it's like it's also that whole thing of like, especially someone like Jeff, a lot of people looked up to him. A lot of everyone's got this vision of what they think he is. He's the best. He's the greatest. He's the biggest and the loudest and the most fun. And when you put that forward, when that's like sort of your brand, let's say the brand you make for yourself, no one is that guy all the time. There's a lot more to life, but when you present sort of this one version of yourself and it's professional and everyone thinks they know you in that way, I think that can be a very difficult thing, for then you're trying to go home and be a family man, and got a couple little kids and so there's
extreme highs go extreme lows. You can't, if you're going to be that high up. I mean, I'm like that too, man. I everyone considers me Mr. Happy, Mr. fucking
totally party
sunshine.
Animal.
Yeah, party animal. But
it's like I might feel like shit, but Andy can make me feel better, I bet.
Yeah. Unless I'm strung out on a Sunday, Yeah. That's why I do it on Mondays, so I can recoup at least a little bit on the fucking Sunday. But this life we live is very extremely hard, and it's very extremely unique. That of course people are going to suppress. It's just how it is. And he was heartbroken, the yonder thing. I totally get all that shit,
dude. Can you, and this is one of those things it's trying to point a finger and in any direction at this point is just completely pointless.
Right.
Or useless. But, going from selling out Red Rocks to three nights in a row with your band of buddies that, you've been with for a long time. And then a couple years later, you got a crew of dudes riding around with you that, I respected Jeff and I loved him. And he was a giant influence to me all those years when I was going to see Yonder, but he didn't fucking know me. He didn't know who I am. I mean, he knew me once he got my number from Vince Herman to call me to join the band. But until Vince said, hey, you should look into this guy. Jeff didn't know me, so he's riding around, riding around the country with a couple dudes that aren't that band that you had been with and selling very, sometimes very small numbers of tickets at night, every night, It's
I remember opening for you guys in George's Majestic, and we played the small room.
Yeah.
And
there you go.
I was your opener.
I must not. I think Kavanaugh might have been. I think Ryan Kavanaugh would have been in the band at that time. Yeah.
But
that was probably just before I joined the band.
Yeah. And I was remembering trying to talk to him because I didn't really know him because I was in the only thing I knew about bluegrass was Harvest Fest in Arkansas.
Which was Yonder's Fest. Yeah.
Exactly. And I got to play there a bunch. I was the late night, wild man curveball thing. But
Yeah.
I got to understand Jeff and Vinny. And then seeing him on the other side of that because I'm homies with Bayless and that's like one of his closest friends.
Totally.
So like I was just hearing, just hearing the stories of who he was. And then when I actually saw him, it made me sad. So I was like, and you're working with the motherfuckers. So
and riding around in a minivan with him and shit, you know? I mean, it's like, dude, and like you said, it's like the small room at George's. Like I also played George's with him, not the time, I don't think it was the time that you were there, but we did.
Is that Lindsay?
You're definitely on the camera right now.
What's up, Lindsay?
Andy says, what's up?
Hey, girl, how you doing? I thought that when you said the cat, it was.
I know. I thought it was the cat too, and then I looked back. I was like, "That's a little bit bigger than the cat." Yeah.
Hey, Bob, how you doing? That's the thing. Like everything happens for a reason, man. It didn't work out with Jenny, so you could fall in love with Lindsay Lou.
Exactly.
It's
exactly,
perfect.
man.
And it's the same thing with the Jeff thing. You wouldn't have found Molly Tuttle,
Totally. And you can't, and that kind of, one thing that sort of speaks to like the timing of these things too, I said earlier, I was like, well, I sort of wonder like maybe why didn't I start playing my own music when I moved to Nashville? Why didn't I start doing my own show or something like that? And it wasn't really until I got in Jeff's band and had to spend a lot of time on stage right next to him with us getting our sweat on each other, right up in each other's faces and headbanging and shredding and sweating and spitting on each other and shit. It wasn't until I was thrown into that I think I became ready to do my own show. I learned so much from being on stage with Jeff. That I think I wasn't ready for a lot. I wasn't ready for a lot. Even things I thought I wanted to do, I wasn't ready for them until I'd had that experience.
Yeah. That's the beautiful thing about life. When you're going through the grind, you're like, fuck this. But then when you take a couple years after, you're like, I'm thankful I had that. Because now look at who I am now. You have a solo project. I'm curious to hear how you met Molly. And then I'm also want to talk about, you got a record too, right? So like, you built the confidence to fucking be your own man through all these experiences in life and stuff. Mm-hmm. So when did it start picking up for you? Were you making dough with Jeff's band?
Yeah. I mean, I was getting paid. Financially, it was a struggle, but I did make money, for sure. And then my band, then when Jeff passed, I mean, immediately the first thing I did, actually the very first thing I did was Larry Keel's band went out to go do a whole bunch of dates that Jeff had on the calendar for the rest of the year. Basically, the agent added me to Keel's band, which was Jared Poole and Jenny Keel, and Larry. And we went and did like a lot of the rest of 2019 I spent with them, which was good because I had like just lost my gig. Basically, I had lost my friend and my hero and my job, and was in the process of losing my wife and, through all that. And so I went out with Keel, did all that. And, like you said, the highs and lows, man, I do believe life is like a sine wave, a musical sine wave. It goes, you got the middle line and where it starts, and then it goes up and then it goes down and it goes up and it goes down. And if you want to have if you want to have a big wave, you want to have the big highs, you're going to have the big lows too. Right. That's just part of it, so so I did
out during the lows.
What?
Do the lows really take you down when you're in those lows, or do you feel optimistic that there's highs coming your way? With that idea of those ups and downs, when you're in the lows, are you stuck in the low, or do you realize this is going to pass? This is going to pass. What's your brain think like that?
I think I'm pretty good at being optimistic, man. I think pretty good at hoping that better times are coming, whether you know that or not,
Right. Yeah. So, damn, that's fucking wild. What's the difference between Keel and Austin as band leaders?
I mean, Jeff Austin also had learned a lot from Larry Keel, man. Keel is a wild man. Keel and Vince Herman, both just total wild cards. You sort of never know what's gonna happen. So there's a lot of similarities about being on stage with both of those guys, because it's just a sort of like you just sort of you're going along and you're just hanging on and listening and looking for the best. Keel will just be like, at the end of this one, man, just watch me, you'll figure it out.
I love that. Yeah.
We're going to, after the third chorus, man, we're going to fucking jam and go out to space for a little bit, but you'll hang on, man. You'll get it, buddy. Like,
I fucking love him, dude.
I know, man.
He's the best. Like, I got you. He's like, Andy, I got you some edibles I made. I'm like, I do not trust these. He's like, because I know how much he eats.
Oh yeah, dude.
Like I'm like, I will see God if I see these fucking.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He gave one time. He handed me some that he made, and he was like a bag. It had two different colors. There was green ones and there was purple ones in there. He hands me the bag. I was like, hey, what's this? He goes, they're edibles, man. Take a couple green ones. The purple ones are for me. And I was like, yeah, I'm not taking a purple one, dude.
Yeah, I know. I've seen those eyes. The distant stare. I'm like, this man is high.
But he still plays the shit out of the guitar,
Unbelievable. Some people can do that. I can't do that. I can't be I need to be connected with the crowd. I mean, it's like I'm a front man.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's funny, man. I smoke weed. I can smoke. I can hang with Keel. It'd be hard for him to smoke me under the table. Which is another thing that I love about him, because it's just such a. And Jeff was not a stoner. Jeff was funny.
Yeah.
He had been a stoner in life, but he wasn't a stoner when I knew him. I never smoked weed with Jeff. I'm it's tough, man. Even being the front man, even being the front of the band, it's like. You want to be connected. You got to be connected. You got to be in the right headspace to connect with the people in the room. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Especially to do what you do. I mean, damn, dude, it's what you do is a very special, powerful, wild thing, and you can't just be sort of like out of your mind and achieve that. I don't think. I mean, I'm not you, but
but I don't. Yeah, I mean, I have to be in control. If I don't, this is why I stopped doing coke.
Yeah,
shows. Like can't do it. Can't.
No,
like,
I don't like that either. It's like your brain, for me, it's like my brain starts to move faster than my fingers even can, and your brain's like, oh, play this. Oh, now play this. Oh, now play this. And your fingers are like, well, I can't keep up with all this shit, and then you sound like shit. And then you start thinking about how you sound like shit. And then you lose your connection to the people. And
right. And it's like, I can't start really drinking heavily until like middle of the set. I need to have like a base, I need to have a fresh paint,
totally. Totally. Yeah. Like I said, I smoke weed all day, every day, so I sort of do feel like I need to smoke weed before the set, but I probably want to have I want to be like opening my second beer when I'm starting the set.
Yeah.
Not opening my fifth beer.
I feel you, dog. I feel you.
Like, I'm going to open my fifth beer for sure, but it's going to be after the set's done tonight at the bar,
So when did you meet Molly?
Man, Molly, I met at Berkeley, actually. We were at Berkeley at the same time. Yeah, everybody in this band, everybody in the Golden Highway, except for Shelby, was at Berkeley at the same time. And Shelby had moved to Boston to be or Shelby actually never moved to Boston, but she spent a lot of time in Boston to be in that band Delamay with Jenny Lynn. So technically in 2009, 10, 11, Bronwyn and Dominic and Shelby and Molly and myself all were living in Boston.
Oh, shit.
Mm-hmm.
So when you got the call, what was what was it like?
It was it was cool, man. It was exciting. I was with the Little Smokies for a little while. I helped them out when their banjo guy left. So I was doing that for a little while, and I was with them when Molly called. And she was like, "Hey, I'm starting this band," and it's like, holy shit, what an opportunity. I mean, Molly Tuttle has been on one hell of a trajectory for
Fucking nuts, dude.
for a really long time.
He deserves it. It's like, it's just cool.
Yeah.
Did that crew drink?
Me and Dom are kind of the party animals in that group, man. The girls will have one after the show sometimes.
Yeah.
But Dom's my boy. Me and him. I don't know if I could do it without him.
Yeah. What a ride being at the Grammys too.
Yeah. I'm actually, I don't know what I'm going to wear.
Yeah, dude. Are you bringing Lindsay?
She can't go, man. She's gonna be doing the transatlantic sessions with Jerry Douglas, like over in the UK.
Oh.
So that's like totally fucking awesome. I'm super proud of her. Super happy that she's gonna be there.
Look at you, little power couple, little Nashville power couple. I knew you guys were in love when I saw you guys at Sleigh Ride last year, and you guys were singing to each other in like eye to eye contact, dude. That was.
Pretty hot, isn't it?
It was hot. It was hot as shit. Kyle,
Yeah.
You're a good looking man. I'm like, man, this man is in love. It's like, I'm proud of you, bro. It's like, you deserve it all, man. You really do. Like you put your dues in and you put your time in, and it was just about time for you to find a band that's popping off, and it's got to help your solo career. Like you're putting out a new record. How you feeling about it? You feeling good about it?
I feel good about it, man. I mean, yeah, the thing with Golden Highway has just been, it's still sort, I said, I mean, of course you got to take a gig like that, a call like that, but you also don't know who knows what it's going to be. I didn't know. I try to, even though you hope it's going to be great, I'm an optimist, but I also try not to build myself up too much because I don't want to be too terribly disappointed if something isn't what I thought it would be, so it's still, I knew we were getting into something cool, but I didn't have any idea how cool it would be. I mean, fucking Grammys and stuff like that, dude. I did not see that coming,
Fucking nuts, dude. And like shows are packing out, just like, does she let you do one of your tunes during her set?
We don't right now. We're not doing any of my tunes, but a lot of times I was doing that John Hartford's tune Up on the Hill where they do the boogie, and that's like, it's not my tune, but I get to have my way with it, And then a lot of times in the encores of the show, I'm always looking for like something that's relevant to the town that we're in. A song that's got the name or a song that mentions something relevant, So I'm always sort of digging for something fun to do that's unique to the show. And a lot of times in the encores, she'll let me have that space.
That's fucking awesome.
Which is cool, man. It feels good.
What's she like as a band leader?
She's good. She's a good band leader. She's pretty stoic. Kind of as she's not a loud animated person for the most part. She's a pretty chill, pretty even keeled person, which can be good because it's like, it's not as bumpy of a ride maybe as some other situations that I've been in,
I always love a pilot, when there's turbulence, like, a little chop, it's all good. We're gonna be good. We're gonna be
exactly.
It's not like,
exactly.
Pump the seatbelt.
Fucking hold on.
Pump down. I fucking hate pilots like that. Like, put on. I'm like, oh my god, damn it. Yeah, I just need like an even keel pilot. So you got a record. So are you gonna be touring it? Are you gonna be able to tour it, or is Molly's schedule so busy next year?
Well, that's part of why it's taken me so long to put this record out. Is that I am going to get to tour it in this little chunk of time that we have a window off from Golden Highway. So I'm doing like 8 shows next month, which is February of 2024. mean, I know that you know what next month is probably, but I don't know when this is going to air, which is why I'm saying that.
I barely don't even know the fucking months, but
right.
Dude, I got one more question for you, and I'll let you go back to your amazing life.
That's maybe the first time anyone's ever said that to me, and it felt really good, man. I gotta say,
really, dude. You go to the Grammys, you got a fucking girl, you guys are living together. I mean, everything is happening, bro, and you're putting out a record, and you're doing your own thing, and you have your own way. I mean, it's coming into fruition like you deserve, bro. So I'm happy for you.
Thank you, Andy.
I got one last question. When it's all said and done, what do you want to be remembered by?
What do I want to be remembered by? I think I would have said, for being a banjo player, I would want to be remembered for being like the best banjo player that I could be. But a thing that I think I've learned in the last handful of years, and I think this was like a big thing I learned from Jeff, and then I've learned from getting to spend time with Vinny too, is that like, I actually love being an entertainer, not just being a banjo player. I mean, I use the banjo, and that's my tool that gets me in front of people. But I mean, and people like you, dude, you're a major inspiration to me. I mean, I'm serious. Watching you be able to get a whole room of like Germans doing the like circle mosh pit thing, watching your videos from your UK tour or whatever this year was every day. I was like excited to wake up every day and see like, what did Frasco do last night, and that's because you're an entertainer, man. And when you're really an entertainer like you are, and like Jeff was, and like Vince and these people, man, you bring joy. You bring so much joy into people's lives, you know, and being a really great instrumentalist or singer or whatever, being a great at any craft, being a great chef, being a great anything also brings lots of joy. But being able to sort of, I don't want to say be the whole package, but just be more than just the guy that plays the banjo. That's being the overall entertainer. That's like an uplifting, hopefully has left a plus and not a minus on the stamp of people's of the general people's experience on this planet, not necessarily mine, but other people's. I want to be remembered by hopefully leaving a stamp here.
Fucking A. God damn it. Kyle Tuttle. Let's go. You get the standing O today, baby. Well, I appreciate it. Go grab Kyle's record. He's the man. Go check him out with Molly Tuttle. It's so weird. Y'all have the same last name. Probably everyone thinks you're.
Oh man, it makes for such great stage banter because nobody knows, and you would think that when you tell a joke, I like to think that when I make a joke, people know that you're joking, but they don't, when you're saying something in a microphone, people like take it as fact, so I constantly make these jokes about, oh, she's my sister or she's my cousin or she's my wife and we got divorced and she let me keep the last name.
Yeah. You should start fucking the crowd and just start doing incestual jokes. It's like, hell
exactly.
Yeah, it's my sister.
Exactly.
Hell yeah, it's my sister, brother.
Hey, buddy, stop looking at my sister like that.
Hey, bro. Well, Kyle, thanks for being on the show, bro. I'm glad you're fucking kicking ass, and I'll see you on the road out there, buddy.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Thanks for having me, Andy. Let's save the world.
Let's do it. Cheers, bud. And tell Lindsay too. Let's get her on the show.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, she said when I told her I was doing your podcast today, she was like, "Oh, I want to do one." So
yeah, we'll get her in there. And then next time,
she made her little guest appearance. Next time she can stand up and talk on the microphone.
And then we should do one when we do a live podcast in Nashville, you and her, and we'll do a couples like the marriage show or whatever they call that. What's that show called?
The one where they put a divider between the two people and they have to like write the answer to the question and hold it up and shit.
Yeah, we should do that shit, dude. That'd be fucking hilarious.
I'll do that. I'll do that.
All right, bud.
I don't know what kind of questions you'd ask on it. It'd probably actually be pretty heavy duty, but I'll still do it, man. I love you and I trust you and I'll do it.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll be polite. I'll be respectful. I won't talk about incest like I just said about the. All right, bud. Have a great day and keep rocking.
Hell yeah. Thanks, Andy.
Roll.
Thank you.